you can't touch the quarterback. You ever get moments like, nah, I couldn't play in this because the rules are so tilted because they want that high scoring offense?
Yeah, I always say that actually. But being on the business side of things, I understand why it's an offensive driven game, quarterback driven game, because a star quarterback, a Patrick Mahomes, can change your organization. He really can. And so you want to protect those guys as much as possible. It's the reason why they're getting $200+ million contracts now, right? They are your investment. So selfishly, I hate it because you want to go out and blast those guys any chance you get an opportunity to. But on the business side, you got to think that the NFL is much better with a healthy Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. Like when they're healthy and they're protected, the NFL is better.
So was that a big learning curve for you coming out of high school then, where it was just about playing the game and playing as intensely as you possibly could, to where now you're drafted, now it's a business and people are kind of at one side, like the coaching staff is obviously forming you into like a young man and wanting you to be the best possible performer you could be on the field, but then there is the business aspect of it that you got to pay attention to as well.
Yeah, no question about it.
It is your livelihood.
Dude, this is a crazy story. So back when I was playing, when I was a rookie, I got drafted in 2005, walking to the locker room with Phillip Rivers, Lorenzo Neal, Antonio Gates, and LT, right?
Yeah.
And so we used to get paid for, strip sacks, strips and making the offensive guys fumble. We would get anywhere from like $300 to $500 a strip, right? And so we always had bets going. And some days I'll make $1,000, right? An extra $1,000 being at practice. I'll swat the ball and knock the ball at hands. But there was one day in particular that my rookie year, and I don't know anybody. I just turned 21. I don't know shit, right? I go in and tomahawk, try to slap the ball out of LT's hands and end up tackling him straight to the ground. And when I say you can hear a pin drop in practice, it was so quiet, and I stood up, celebrate. He didn't fumble, but I stood up, and I was so proud of myself, right? Because I went in to try to get the ball from LT, and I get up, and I'm looking around, and everybody's mouth is just like, Shawne, what the hell are you doing? And this is when I found out the NFL was a business. So the coaches didn't really say much to me. Nobody really said anything to me after that. But as I was walking on the field, coaches said, hey, we need to meet with you. And they took me in a meeting room, and I said, hey, what's up? I'm thinking like, okay, shit, what did I do wrong? They said, look, we love the way you play. We love the way you practice. It's the reason why we drafted you, for that reason. We love everything, the intensity, all these things they started naming. They said, but do us a favor. And this is linebackers in there, the head coach, Marty Schottenheimer, in the room, a little teeny room. They said, do us a favor and never hit LT again. And so, I'm looking at that point. I said, for what? I'm hitting there. They said, Shawne, he feeds our kids.
Yep.
So at that point, I knew, like, okay, this is the NFL, right? You got your superstars, you got your players. I mean, obviously, LT is one of the best who ever did it, but that's when I found out that day. I said, this is a different ball game. It's not like college or high school where you're going just out and having a good time and you having a passion and love for the game. You can't do that here. It's a business.
Mm-hmm. And that's your franchise running back behind Phillip Rivers, too.
Exactly.
Part of you's probably like, yeah, I get it. That's LaDainian Tomlinson. Like, I probably shouldn't injure him in practice, but at the same time, like, I'm intense. Like, I'm competitive.
Yeah, and that's how that my mind thought process, but I think that at that moment it grounded me, and I realized, I said, okay, because it's all the linebacker coaches, Wade Phillip, defensive coordinator, Marty Schott, we're in the room half the size of this, and they're circling me up, and I'm, you're in a small room with a lot of people around you.